chance that you would take a professional bout in the future after Mike, or is that off the table?
It's on it. It's on it. It's been talks. It's been talks. It's possible.
Okay, so not totally against that possibility.
No, not at all. Not at all. But we just don't know.
Both in the prime, I would probably pick Mayweather to win, just like I would probably pick Pacquiao to win. Both in the prime.
Ooh, to beat Crawford.
I think so.
Prime for prime, nice.
Yeah. But is Crawford one of the greatest of all time? 100%. There definitely he is.
He's number one right now. He's number one. This is his generation. This is his timeline. He is the king right now.
Floyd Mayweather has finally addressed his plans for a 2026 comeback, confirming that his first appearance will be this year in the much-publicized exhibition bout against Mike Tyson. He added that after Tyson, he is preparing for a potential professional fight with Terence Crawford. Mayweather stated that discussions for a fully sanctioned match are already underway and stressed that he and his team are working hard to make his official return a reality.
Everything is going great. You know, I feel good. Working hard each and every day. And I can't wait for 2026.
When discussions about dream matchups arise in boxing, Floyd Mayweather's name almost always takes center stage. Even in retirement, his influence looms over the sport, and debates about how he would fare against today's champions remain constant. Recently, Robert Garcia delivered a candid perspective on the idea of Mayweather taking on Terence Crawford. He pointed out that despite Mayweather's unparalleled career, he never achieved what Crawford and Manny Pacquiao did by becoming undisputed champions. However, Garcia also admitted that his admiration for Mayweather's skill and presence makes him favor Floyd if this hypothetical showdown ever took place.
He doesn't need it anymore.
With his accomplishments, the only man to ever do 3 weight divisions undisputed. Is he now a part of the greatest of all time conversation? And not of this era, but of all time.
Definitely is the greatest, one of the greatest of all times. You know, there's still greats out there. There's still, you know, his era or last era, you know, with the Mayweathers, with the Pacquiaos. I think he's, you know, already accomplished more than Pacquiao was 8 divisions, so we could argue there because Pacquiao was, fuck, 8 division is almost impossible, and he did it. Mayweather never became undisputed. He's a 5 division champion, but never became undisputed. Never really followed that unification, stuff like that. So I think when it comes to accomplishments, I think he's already done more.
Robert Garcia was quick to emphasize the achievements that placed Terence Crawford in a distinct category. He noted that Crawford accomplished something Mayweather never did, becoming the undisputed champion of a division. Manny Pacquiao also earned recognition across multiple weight classes with undisputed standing. And Garcia highlighted this as the one area where Mayweather's resume feels unfinished. Mayweather dominated opponents, retired undefeated, and secured countless iconic victories. Yet the undisputed title remained the one accolade he never captured. Garcia made it clear that this doesn't diminish Floyd's greatness, but it does reinforce why Crawford deserves to be viewed as one of boxing's most complete fighters, even while acknowledging Crawford's impressive resume. Garcia relied on his first-hand experience in the sport to explain why he would still choose Floyd in a head-to-head matchup. In his view, Mayweather's defense, timing, and ring intelligence were simply on a different level.
Probably still pick Mayweather. Both in the prime, I would probably pick Mayweather to win, just like I would probably pick Pacquiao to win. Both in the prime.
Ooh, to beat Crawford.
I think so.
Prime for prime, nice.
Yeah. But is Crawford one of the greatest of all time? 100%. There definitely he is.
With all that said, what can you ultimately say about what occurred and what we saw Saturday night?
It was a great event, great turnout, 70,000 plus people. Gate was fucking insane from what I understand. You know, fucking, that's good for boxing, man. Good for boxing, good for all the younger fighters. You know, all this new things going on. I think it's going to be a positive thing for all the younger fighters.
Adito highlighted that Floyd Mayweather exists in 2 legendary forms. First is Pretty Boy Floyd the young, fearless fighter who overwhelmed opponents with blistering speed, aggression, and crisp combinations. Then came Money Mayweather the savvy businessman, defensive mastermind, and pay-per-view icon who built one of the most powerful empires in boxing. Allow described Floyd as a genius, someone who shaped not only his fighting style, but also his public identity, giving both personas their own distinct aura. Pretty Boy Floyd drew fans by taking risks and scoring knockouts, while Money Mayweather fascinated the world with psychological tactics, technical brilliance, and his ability to turn every fight into a global event together. These two eras of his career created a legacy that few fighters can rival, making Mayweather not just a champion in the ring, but also a key architect of boxing's modern business landscape.
Sorry. He's a genius. He is a fucking... You know, when I get bored with today's crop of boxers, and Terence, to be fair, has kind of helped me out of my boredom, but sometimes I just go on YouTube and I watch the 24/7s, and then I watch the fight. I'm not joking, I watch the whole fucking episodes, and then I watch the fight. And my guy is a genius. A genius. There will always be an argument, oh, you should have fought that person then, and I get it. I get it, right? It's kind of the argument you can't throw at Muhammad Ali, right? You could throw that argument at Floyd. But dude, unbeaten is unbeaten. Unbeaten is unbeaten. Multi-weight world champion is multi-weight world champion. Do you know what I mean? I've never seen a boxer so like, I'm gonna work you out, and then when I work you out, you're done. Shall I repeat that? I'm gonna work you out, and when I work you out, you're done. And Floyd had this thing where first 2 rounds, you think, oh shit, man, this guy's in this fight, and then he works you out. And then he works you out. Floyd, Pretty Boy Floyd was better than Money, but Money Floyd had obviously the fights, right? In terms of the fights that brought all the eyeballs onto him, Oscar De La Hoya fight, you know what I mean? That Pretty Boy Floyd was like, Diego Corrales is probably the best performance really from Pretty Boy Floyd, right? Corrales, I think, was unbeaten at the time, and look what he did to him. But Money Floyd brought the eyeballs on. That's when he started being controversial. Genius outside the ring in terms of marketing, genius inside the ring in terms of defensively, offensively as well. People don't give him as much credit offensively.
Zab Judah, who once shared the ring with Mayweather, didn't hesitate to call Terence Crawford the standout fighter of this generation. He noted that every era has its defining star, and right now, Crawford is the one carrying that mantle. Judah even referenced Canelo Alvarez's remark that Crawford might be better than Mayweather. Words he believes shouldn't be dismissed. According to Judah, Crawford has repeatedly proven his dominance against elite opponents across multiple weight classes, showcasing a level of completeness that no one has been able to crack. In acknowledging this, Judah honored Floyd's legacy while making it clear that today's spotlight belongs to Crawford. He added that comparisons across eras are inevitable, but insisted that Crawford rightfully deserves recognition as the #1 fighter of the present generation.
Number one, this is his generation, this is his timeline. He is the king right now.
Just seen in the press conference, Canelo said that Crawford's better than Mayweather. What did you think?
He's not lying. He fought him. He should know. How can somebody tell somebody that fought both of these guys, he know?
Yeah.
If anybody would know, Canelo would know.
What do you think's next for both?
I don't know.
Too early?
I don't know.
You like to see a rematch?
Rematches always sound good. But in a rematch, it'll be the same thing.
Yeah. Cool.
Matter of fact, in a rematch, I'm predicting stoppage earlier.
Yeah.
I think so too. I think so.
Bredman Edwards took a very different stance on the debate, dismissing the idea of a Floyd Mayweather versus Terence Crawford matchup altogether. He argued that the comparison feels unnecessary and forced, especially when Crawford deserves to enjoy his current success without being measured against legends from another era. Edwards added that, if Mayweather truly wanted a crossover attraction, a bout with Roy Jones Jr. would make far more sense to iconic names whose clash would naturally draw massive fan interest. In Edwards' view, Crawford is in his prime and should be celebrated for what he is achieving rather than being pulled into hypothetical scenarios. He emphasized that constantly pairing him with Floyd not only undermines Crawford's moment, but also takes attention away from the historical weight of his accomplishments. For Edwards, boxing should stop chasing impossible fantasy fights and instead allow Crawford to stand as a symbol of greatness in his own era.
Never gonna get this fight, unfortunately. Just two different generations. And I'm not necessarily asking you who would win, but if Floyd and Crawford were to cross paths prime for prime, would you just put that as a Yeah, that's 50-50, man. I don't know. Or are you just like, I might still give the edge to Floyd.
You know, man, I don't really want to compare them right now, Hans, if we seeing everything that's going on with Floyd and Roy. You know what I mean? And, you know, they competitive guys. Next thing you know, Bud and Floyd will be mad at each other, man, and wanting to fight because people is like putting them against each other. Let's just enjoy the moment. I don't know. It's a close fight. You know, it's things Floyd do better. It's things that Bud do better. But I'd rather not say, because I'm not going to just lie and just say nothing, like, and make up something just to, I got my opinion on, you know, how the fights would go, and, you know, but I think we should just let the man enjoy his great moment. He's a great fighter. And I see a lot of immature stuff, and I don't like the way things is going with Floyd and Roy. They two guys that a lot of the younger guys look up to, and they taking shots at each other in the media because of the who's better and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, I just want to see Bud enjoy his moment. And, you know, unfortunately, they didn't fight. You know, they could have made, they kind of two different eras, though. Even though they was fighting at the same time, Floyd kind of was doing his different thing over there with PBC, and Bud's a lot young, about 10 years younger than him. So it didn't happen, and we got to just live with it, you know.
Sean Porter weighed in on the unusual announcement of a Floyd Mayweather versus Mike Tyson showdown, describing it as something closer to a street brawl than a legitimate boxing match. He explained that there is genuine animosity between the two, with both fighters carrying years of built-up resentment. Porter suggested that this tension could turn the encounter into something personal far beyond pure skill or strategy. Because of that, he questioned whether any official boxing commission would approve the fight in a sanctioned format. Porter acknowledged that the matchup would create massive buzz, but warned it could also push boundaries the sport would rather avoid. In his view, the potential for chaos far outweighs the entertainment value, making him doubtful the fight will ever take place in a proper ring. Several analysts echoed similar concerns, expressing frustration over the growing trend of exhibition bouts featuring legends like Mayweather, Tyson, and even Jake Paul. They argued that these events prioritize star power and spectacle over true competition, shifting attention away from the sport's genuine elite matchups.
You see this one coming unless you know the history of these two guys.
Yeah, they don't like each other too much, do they, Sean?
When you look at the history, it's kind of like for a street fight. It doesn't make sense for like a in the ring situation, and so it's kind of like, I guess for the sake of words, crazier things have happened, and then now you have to say, well, no, it doesn't get crazier than this.
Yeah, you're not kidding, right? You know, obviously we watched Mike Sean in November against Jake Paul. I think clearly those guys like each other. Floyd and Mike, not so much. Obviously, there's been some tension there over the years. Do you think they go in there despite the fact that this is an exhibition fight? I mean, do they go in there and do they both try and take each other out?
I don't know what that fight looks like. And, you know, that kind of was my biggest apprehension with coming on with you guys today. It was like, how do you analyze what a fight between Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather could look like, right? So then you think about when Floyd got in the ring with Big Show. We already know, like we know now more than we've ever known before that the WWE is fake. It's kind of like acceptable, but it wouldn't be acceptable in a boxing ring. You know, it wouldn't be acceptable if there becomes some sort of weird antics and things like that. I mean, I guess I'll have to do what I did once before with Mike and Jake, and I'm gonna go on record for saying this doesn't happen.
Falls apart sometime before.
This doesn't make sense. I don't know. I don't know how you can make it make sense. I don't know how you can make this one make sense.
And to your point, they may have it, but if they have it, they haven't said it yet. There's no date for the fight, no location that's been announced. So
many critics also noted that fans haven't truly enjoyed the spectacle of Jake Paul's bouts, raising the question of why boxing keeps depending on retired legends instead of promoting the stars of the current era. To them, this trend reflects a deeper issue. Today's fighters are struggling to command mainstream attention on their own. Analysts worrying that if the sport continues down this path, boxing will become overly dependent on nostalgia, drifting further away from its foundation of genuine, competitive matchups.
Like this? No, I didn't like the Jake-Mike fight. I told you guys that. I didn't think Mike should have been fighting then. I don't think he should be fighting now. I don't like the fact that Jake and Gervonta are fighting when Gervonta is a sitting champion. At least these two are retired. But this is an indication, and I've said this over and over, of where boxing is. That this will probably have a ton of intrigue, but it's almost like the WWE rolling out Stone Cold Steve Austin or rest in peace Hulk Hogan whenever they need a big time pop and whenever they need to get the crowd energized because their current stars just aren't hitting the same. This is what boxing feels like right now. Boxing feels like Antiques Roadshow. Honestly, this kind of stuff, that's what it feels like. And again, it's the spectacle, it's the entertainment value, and it is the era of the unpredictable, as Mike says there, but it's not good. I can tell you that. It is not good. This is why we need people like Turkey Al-Sheikh, Eddie Hearn, Oscar De La Hoya, hell, Dana White to come into boxing and fix this shit, because stuff like this and Jake and Gervonta is kind of the norm now. Mike says, I still can't believe Floyd really wants to do this. He added, it's going to be detrimental to his health, but he wants to do it, so it's signed and it's happening. It's not even believable to hear Mike talk like that now. Because yes, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, he'd be right. But we saw Mike struggle to walk into the ring versus Jake. And yeah, Mike was dangerous enough for Jake not to engage with him. But Jake not engaging with him just circled and jabbed his way to the ending of an exhibition where both guys get their hand raised, and we all feel like, yeah, that wasn't a fight, because clearly Mike is not the same. And clearly Jake did not want to take that extra step to try to actually...
Ariel Helwani wrapped up the discussion with a practical perspective, asserting that a Floyd Mayweather versus Mike Tyson fight is highly unlikely to occur in any official capacity. He noted that insiders largely see it as an exhibition aimed at entertainment and profit. More importantly, Helwani suggested that many view it as a potential warm-up for Floyd's next legitimate bout, which could be a professional fight against Terence Crawford. By framing the matchup as merely a sideshow, Helwani shifted focus to the more serious prospect of Mayweather returning to sanctioned competition, describing the exhibition as a temporary spectacle designed to build hype while negotiations for a Crawford fight continue.
So they're not trying to knock each other out?
No, well, Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather don't like each other. They have not liked each other forever.
Tyson and Mayweather?
Yes.
But they like
Mike Tyson and Mayweather don't like each other.
Huh.
If there's a fight that might be real, like where Mike Tyson might say, I'm going to knock this motherfucker out, or I'm going to try to knock this motherfucker out.
It would be Floyd? They wouldn't fight.
Yeah, because if you look at like the Jake Paul fight, no disrespect, and if you look at the Roy Jones fight, no disrespect.
Yeah.
They look like they were sparring.
Yeah.
Right? It looked like there was agreements made.
Yeah.
I do not know if Mike would honor any of those agreements. Really? If there was a moment
They've
to
had
crack.
beef for years.
Yeah. If there was a moment to really... Could he hit him? I mean, that little motherfucker can move still. At 50 years old, he's so slick.
Yep.
He's still in shape. He's still fit.
They're both old as fuck.
Old as fuck.
But this is the boxing.
How old is Mayweather?
67.
Dude, Bernard
49?
Hopkins was
49.
still at the best in the world at 50.
Yep.
I mean, that's incredible.
That doesn't mean shit, though. With this. Because he
Kentucky's
was
got-
active fighting contenders.
Kentucky's got Gomez on the ground.
You're talking about two retired guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fighting the
that's
exhibition.
so
It's just
weird.
money grabs.
It's
just,
so weird,
Yeah, it is weird. It's money grabs. I don't like it, but it's fun. You know, it's something to watch.
I'll hate on it, but I'll tune in.
Yeah, I'll tune in. It's, you know, but it's not really fighting.
So Jake Paul's not
Entertainment.
going to actually be trying to knock out Gervonta Davis.
There's a reason it says exhibition.
If I had a guess. Yeah. The event itself would be a world-class venue and be presented to a global audience with new in-ring technology elements that will reshape how boxing is presented and scoring is achieved for years to come. What does that mean?
That shit has Abu Dhabi written all over
What
it.
does that mean? This is Tyson versus Mayweather. What does that mean? Where are they doing that? Are they doing that in Saudi Arabia?
But of course.
But of course.
Because they have all the money.
My friend.
And they just go, what do
Yeah.
you want to see? I'd always like to see Floyd Tyson.
Who wants to fight an alligator?
That's a wrap for today's video. Stay tuned for the next one.